right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right? Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday. Sometimes I get the days mixed up a little bit, but happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everybody's doing great. DBL Mouse, can you do me a favor? Grab me some water.
Yeah.
Thank you. And yeah, so that's what we're doing right now. We are just getting ourselves all set up. But how are you guys doing today? How you guys doing? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second. A little bit stuffy. So, yeah. All right. So, we're just getting ourselves set up here. How was your day yesterday, ladies and gentlemen? I had a good day yesterday. I had a good old day yesterday. All right. Got to spend time with friends, watch movies. I got to watch a nice little series with some friends of mine, too. It's called Suits. It was actually a pretty good show. Had a very good time watching that with them. What'd you guys get to do, ladies and gentlemen? What'd you guys get to do? Put it in the chat. All right. Let's see here. All right. There we go. All right. Getting ourselves all set up here. All right. Boom. Just getting ourselves all shared. Let's get a share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party going. Let's share it up.
Share it up.
Let's go. Come on now. Ooh, let me grab my glasses real quick. Can you grab me my glasses? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yep.
All right. So, we got our glasses. Good, good, good. Let's get some water. Let's get some water. Mm-hmm. Ah, that's the good stuff right there. That is the good stuff right there. All right. Oh, that's much better. Ooh. Ooh. That's the good stuff. All right. But yeah, how are you guys doing? What'd you guys get to do yesterday? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you guys got to do yesterday. Did you guys have fun? Did you guys get to chill? Hope you guys made lots of money. Let's make even more money today, even more money tomorrow, and then more money the next day. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. Let's see. All right. Okay. All right. Oop. Let me make sure. All right. There we are. All right. Looking good. Looking good. Alrighty. There we are. Boom. All right. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Let's get ourselves all shared. Let's get ourselves shared on the Yobitobis. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, if you got any stickers that you want us to take a look at, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know. Let me know. Yeesh. Let me know. All right. Let's see here. All right. All right. Let's get on the YouTubes. Let's make sure we are live over there. Make sure everything is all set and good. Yes, we are. We are definitely live there. Audio looks good. Perfect. That sounds good. All right. All right. There we are. All right. All right. Let's get the YouTube over here. Okay. All right. There we go. All right, let's check out X. Make sure we're live there. All right. X.com. Okay. There we are. Good. Let's get this up over here. Boom. All set up, ready to go. All right. Looks good. Make sure we are good on the Yobi Tobis and the X.com. Let's see. All right. Yeah, we're looking good. Looking good, ladies and gentlemen. And let's check out Twitch. All good there. Should be good. All right. Good. Good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's check out the beautiful. Let's check out our Facebook. Make sure Facebook's up and ready to go. Good. Good. All right. Paste it there. 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 And there. Okay. All right. All right. Hold on. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Looks like we're all set and ready to go. Let's check out CLDI, ladies and gentlemen. CLDI seems to be moving. All right. CLDI looks to be up 210%.
Wow, it's almost 200.
Yeah, it hit 200. It did. It did. Hold on. Let me see over here. Let me make sure.
It's 198.
Hold on.
Now it's 201. There we go.
No, it hit 210 over here.
Okay.
210?
210?
210?
210.
Wow. Wow, already.
There you go.
All right. I mean, hey, all right. Day just started.
I can do that.
Day just started. I didn't even get to do the intro yet.
Nope.
All right.
No, it
All right. Let's get ourselves. Yeah, I said, no mames. No. No, not allowed. Not allowed, man. No, not allowed. Let me get a pen. Pen? Where the pen's at? I think DBL Mom stole the pens. She's a pen stealer. Yeah. All right. There we go. 210%. Wow. Excellent. Beautiful. And ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, currently with the stonk, it is an A to B, B to C, C to D. Boom. There we go. All right. Let's get this intro started before we continue. All right. What's up, guys? It's Double Nicks, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL Nicks in the house. Excuse me, I had a hiccup. AKA the Rainmaker. And I am here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Other times she likes to go to Arby's and spend time looking at videos of puppies and kitties and And of course, you know, you shoot her out the cannon, she goes wee. You throw her in the stock market, she finds them A, B, C, Ds. She did call SUGP and SCAG, as well as CLDI. I mean, that one didn't rhyme, but you know what she called it. We call her DB Moms.
Hey!
Yeesh. Hello, DB Moms. Good
Hello.
morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good
Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share.
Share.
Because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And, of course, if you want access to our private Discord, links to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
All right. So, now that we got all that squared away and everything's all set and ready to go, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at CLDI, because CLDI seems to be moving rather sporadic right now. It did have a nice move up to 210%, made a crazy shoot upward. Had some news that came out yesterday as well as today. So let's take a look at yesterday's news, and then we'll go into today's. So, CLDI Biotherapeutics.
Yeah, let's go.
CLDI Biotherapeutics, let's see here, Inc., that's the name of the company, featured in editorial highlighting breakthrough genetic medicine platform. So that was what came out yesterday. All right, and then of course, let's see up here, we got breaking through systemic generic medicines hard to treat cancers. So it's basically trying to treat cancer. That's basically the idea. That's what they're trying to do right now with CLDI Biotherapeutics Inc. And of course, let's see here with CLDI, it does have a float of 29 million, which is a little bit high. It's a little bit on the higher side, but it does have a nice volume at 146 million. So the volume is a lot higher than the float. It is a bit overbought in the RSI at times, but it has gone down a bit to basically kind of not be overbought or oversold with the RSI. So as of now, CLDI is down 162%, but well, actually it's up 162%, but it had a nice high of 210% earlier, and that was pretty cool. Not gonna lie, ladies and gentlemen, that was pretty cool. I like that.
Yes, what?
I like that very much. So, yeah, I like that. I like that it had a nice little high over there. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like that. Yes, sir. All right. All right, there we go. And yeah, that's pretty much it for CLDI as of now. Let's check out SLXN, because SLXN seems to be moving a little bit. SLXN. Oh, excuse me. SLXN. Let's take a look at SLXN. All right, SLXN has a lot of indecisive wicks. I can tell right off the bat. This one doesn't have much in the volume department. Let's get a share party, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party, by the way. But SLXN doesn't have much in terms of the volume department. I can tell just by looking at it. So, but you know, obviously want to take a good look and see. All right, so it had some news yesterday that it filed a Form 8K and some insider buying news. And then Selixion Therapeutics, which is the name of the company, announces positive results in a preclinical study demonstrating significant SIL-204 efficiency in human lung cancer cell lines. So they're trying to treat human lung cancer cell lines. So that is pretty cool, actually. That's pretty cool. That's some good news. Let's see what the float and volume are for this stock. Float for the stock is 8.17 million. Volume is 4.63 million. So the float is very reasonable, but the volume is a little bit lower. So not liking that one too much. Not liking that too much. Needs to obviously get some more volume for it to be so much mexy to me. It is a bit overbought in the RSI, but it did go down a bit more to kind of basically cooperate with the RSI. So we got that going on. But let's check out some other stocks. We got SUGP seems to be moving quite a bit. So let's check out SUGP. Oh, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $1.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out, because we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, ladies and gentlemen. We actually called quite a few baggers today. And the day just started, by the way. The day literally just started. And by the way, SUGP is now 158%. So Let me actually update this little percentage point because that is a new high, 158%. Boom, beautiful, awesome. There we go. So, oh, wait, 164, 164% now. 164, ladies and gentlemen, 164. Ooh, all right. Hey, look, man, I step up into the building, all of a sudden these things want to run. That's all I'm saying. Now, let's get some support and resistance lines over here. We got some support over here. You got resistance over here. Boom. All right, so what do we got? We got support at the 45-cent mark, 62 cents, 75 cents, 84 cents, 93 cents. That's what you got as far as support goes. Then, as far as resistance goes, you got the $1.05 mark, which is currently breaking through. And then it has to break through the $1.23 mark for it to continue to be schmexy to me. It is forming a bit of a top tail on this last candle over here. And you know how I feel about them top tails. We don't like the top tails, DBL moms. We like the bottom tails. We like the bottom tails, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we like, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me get some water. Ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, we called a couple of stocks this morning. We called KZIA, Kilo Zulu India Alpha. That one ran up 113%. We called BMGL. That one is Bravo Mike Golf Lima. I'm going to use the phonetics that way just in case, just in case people don't understand what the ticker is. They can't make it out. I like to use the phonetics. So Bravo Mike Golf Lima, BMGL, that one ran up a nice 140%. And then of course we got another one over here. Hold on one second. All right, there we go. Beautiful. All right, hold on one second. There we are. Okay, so we also got here, after BMGL, we got SUGP, Sierra Uniform Golf Papa. That one, it ran up a nice 164%. We got CLDI, Charlie Lima Delta India. That one ran up 210%. And then after that, you got SCAG. That was our top runner. That one ran up 252%. That's Sierra Charlie Alpha Golf. That one ran up a nice 252%. Ladies and gentlemen, so as I'm saying, we are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. So, what do we got going on with SUGP? Well, right now, SUGP had a nice shot all the way upward from over here. Boom, right there. Beautiful. All right, has to now basically go down over here. Had a bit of a descending wedge, curled up off that descending wedge a little bit. So it had a tiny little, really tiny little ABCD over here. Right, and had another one all the way up here, and then dropped down, and now has to really just break through this pennant for it to continue to be somewhat schmexy to me. Because let's see, so let's re-elaborate here. It shot up, had a bit of a descending wedge, curled up off that descending wedge, made a little tiny ABCD, and then it made another one over here into a nice little pennant that looks like it's breaking through right now. SUGP looks like it's trying to actually test the high. It's currently now 164%. That is the high. Has to break through that 164% mark. It has to break through that $1.23 mark to be somewhat schmexy to me. Has to hold at 105. Has to be right there at 123 in my opinion for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Let's get a share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it up. Let's share it up. Share it with your mom. Share it with your dad. Share it with your brother, your sister, your cat, your dog, whatever. You know what I mean? All right, let's see. Let's check out EVOK, because EVOK seems to be moving a bit as well. EVOK actually looks to be forming a bit of an ABCD over here. It doesn't look like it has much in the volume department, though, so that's one thing that I'm kind of going to be keeping an eye on. It also has a bit of a top tail over here, and you know how I feel about them top tails. I don't like them top tails. I like the bottom tails. You know how I feel about that. Let's get this over here. Oop, there we go. All right, so EVOK, let's see what EVOK is currently doing. EVOK is currently up 38%, has a float of 1 million, volume is 937,000. So the volume is not as high as the float as of now. The float is relatively reasonable, but the volume has to kind of climb up. and to meet the float and exceed it in order for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Let me actually get out some support resistance lines over here, and let's get the share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the share party going, ladies and gents. Let's get the share party going. We already called 5 baggers, ladies and gentlemen. 5 baggers. 5 baggers, ladies and gents. 5 baggers. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. All right. So, we got that going on right there. EVOK currently has an ABCD pattern going on right here. A little bit of ABCD, little bit. But yeah, it's got that going on right there. And it looks like it's trying to curl up a bit more. So EVOK, let's take a look at EVOK. Right? EVOK right now is climbing up 58%. Now the volume has just exceeded the float. The float is 1.4 million. The volume is 1.58 million. So the volume is basically climbing up. M from X.com says PROK, insane. Definitely. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at PROK. Oh, before we do, let's take a look at SWGP because it looks like it's moving up again. Yep, it's testing it. It's testing it. It's now hit a new high at 171%. 175. There we go, baby. There we go. Yes, sir. All right. Yeah. Beautiful. Hold there. Hold there. Yep, that was it. Let me click this and bring this all the way up here. Yep.
Doubles, we gotta get some 200 people in here.
Oh yeah, let's get 200 people in here. Yeah.
Some sharing. We gotta do
Yeah.
some sharing.
Let's do it. Let's get a share party
Giving
here.
some tremendous entertainment here.
Yes. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And by the way, SUGP ran up a nice 175%. All right, and let's check out PROK. Let's check that out. Let's get a share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. All right, PROK seems to have been on a general uptrend so far. PROK, Papa Romeo Oscar Kilo. All right, PROK looks like it has some news. So let's start off with the news here. Yesterday, it came out with some news that PROK soared 515% on surging volume amid a clinical trial buzz. And today, it came out with some news that Pro Kidney Corp, which is the name of the company, is to participate in the HC Rain Rate 4th Annual Kidney Virtual Conference. That, and also the fact that they study when sends shares soaring past 500%. Those 2 bits of news came out, and it did move up. It did have a nice little move. It was going pretty well, honestly. Went pretty well. So
we did a video on that yesterday afternoon.
Oh, did we do a video on PROK?
On PROK, yeah.
Yes, we did. We actually did do a video on PROK yesterday on YouTube. You can check that out on our YouTube channel by going to our YouTube channel and checking out the video that we did on it yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel because, yeah, we did a video on that. Huh. I just remembered that, yeah. And by the way, EVOK is moving, but before we continue with that, let's check out PROK, see what we got going on here. First things first, PROK had a nice solid uptrend going on over here, but let's see. We got an A to B, B to C, C to D. Very excellent. Has to break through this pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy for me. All right, let's get some support and resistance lines as well over here because it was a bit consolidated over here and moved a bit downward over here. So let's see. All right, first things first. Let's squish it down a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. This is what I like to see. Let's go over Mya. All right. Let's go from Mya to Mya. Boom. Right there. So let's see about the support and resistance line. So support is at $3.36, $4.06, $4.60, $4.99, $5.37. That's the support lines right now. Has to break through 584 and 661 for it to continue to be somewhat schmexy to me. But right now, has to break through those 2 marks. Has to break through 584 and 661 while holding 537 for it to be somewhat interesting to me. But right now, it did have a nice run. It did run excellently. It had a great run. Let me check the float and volume for PROK real quick. Let me check that float and volume. So the float, PROK, let's see. PROK has so far as in terms of volume, the float was extremely high. It was 95.71 million. It did have a run yesterday, but again, had a very, very high float. In terms of float, it was 95.71 million. Volume is currently 61.74 million. So right now it's man, Let's take a look at EVOC. Let's see what EVOK is doing. EVOK seems to be moving up some more. Wow, look at that. It's another bagger, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, what can I say? And hey, look, I said it was going to be going crazy, and it was going to go crazy. So yeah,
Yes, it is.
we called EVOK earlier this morning anyway. So yeah. That's what we got going on. Again, EVOK has some news as well, that they got some insider buying news in the form of a Form 8K, but also Evoke Pharma receives a notice of allowance for U.S. patent application for Gemoti, extending their Orange Book listings to 2036. Their float is 1.4 million. Volume is now 5.14 million. So the volume has now exceeded that of the float. So let's put this down. Let me write this down over here. EVOK is now 105% up. There we go. Beautiful. That is excellent. Now 107. There we are. All right. 107%. Perfect. Beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like it's going to continue. So let's get some support and resistance lines going on over here. Let's get some support and resistance lines, because now this is our sixth bagger. Our sixth bagger, ladies and gentlemen. Sixth bagger. That's what we got going on right now. All right, so let's get this all the way up here. Bop, right there. Oh, right there. Click it, good. There we go. Beautiful. All right, so let's see here. We got $2.51, $3.22, $3.78, $4.17, $4.56, and $5.05. Those are all support lines over there, and you got one resistance line all the way up here at $5.83. That's what you got going on so far. Let's see what we got going on here. It has a bit of a double top going on right there. All right. Yeah. M says, wow, EVOC, I don't have enough. Yeah. EVOC went crazy, man. It did. It did. I mean, it was moving up, and it was having some serious movement. Before, it had low volume, very low on the volume, but now the volume has caught up and surpassed that of the float, which is excellent. That's awesome. That's great news. I love that very much. And it had a nice ABCD pattern, shot up real nice all the way over here. Has to break through this little pennant that I'm going to draw over here, though, for it to continue to be so much maxi to me. Right, has a bit of a pennant that it has to break. Boom, right over. Yeah, has to break through that, ladies and gentlemen. Has to break through this little pennant for it to be so much schmexy. But right now, it is forming a bit of a double top. We'll have to see what goes on here. It has to break through this $5.58 line to continue to be so much schmexy to me, and then break through $5.83. So that's what we got. That is what we got going on. Then you got the RSI over here. The RSI is a bit overbought. A little bit overbought on the RSI, but it does have some good news. It has excellent volume. The float is reasonable. It's wonderful. Now it's up 127%, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. It's exceeding it, ladies and gents. It's exceeding it 127%. There we go. That's what I like to see. That is beautiful. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, if you want more baggers, and by the way, you want access to our pre-market picks as well as our other picks that we call. We even got like watch lists and all sorts of other little stuff like that. You can check all that stuff out by clicking the link in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. Be sure to check it out, man. Hey, it's gone now. It's 133, 136. There we go. Wow, I look away for 5 seconds. 137. There we are.
Yes, sir.
All right. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you want access to our picks, our scanners, look at these beautiful scanners over here with clickable links that give access to all the information you need to know about a stock, plus whether the stocks are moving up and down, the percentage points, the ticker, the price, the volume, and the float. All that is in this beautiful scanner that you are looking at right on the screen here, that you can get by clicking the link down below in the description to actually get our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $1.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section, so be sure to check that out. And by the way, EVOK is 140. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times, man. What can I tell you? What can I say? EVOK now 140%.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you heard it here first. You saw it. You saw it, ladies and gents. Hey, we bagger after bagger after bagger. Let's get a share party going. Let's share it up, baby. Let's share it up. Because we got some mo. We got mo, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we got more, ladies and gentlemen. More stuff. More stuff right here.
Yes.
More,
More
baby.
stuff.
Yes, sir. All right, let me get
Oh,
some
yes.
water. Let me get some
Right,
water.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
My.
Ooh, all right.
Oh my goodness.
So far, we got KZIA, which ran up 113%. You got BMGL, which ran up 140%. EVOK, which ran up 140%. SUGP, which ran up 175%. CLDI, which ran up 210%. And SCAG, which ran up a nice 252%, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, just made different. All you got to do is click that link in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. Let's get that share party. Yeah, let's get that share party going.
Let's get over 200.
Oh, yeah.
Take it good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Oh, by the way, let me get this all the way over. Yeah, boom. Right there. All right, so let's see what we got going on. As of now, we have... Oh, wow. Okay. Look at that. EVOK now hit 140%. There we go. It might have gone even higher because looking at this little top tail over here, but it might have gone a bit higher. So let's see what we got going on. So far, it's got support at 252, 344, 416, 466, 517, 579. Those are the support lines, and then it's got a breakthrough 681 for it to continue to be so much schmexy to me. Yes, sir. That's what we got going on. Beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. Yeah. So that's what we got. That is what we got. Woo. All right. So EVOC is currently now hit 140. I think it might be trying to break through a little bit. Has a bit of a double top forming over here. Has to break through that for it to continue to be so much schmexy to me. Let's make sure to mark up that double top right there. Boom. So right there at the 639 mark, it has to break through that and hold and break through at 681. Has to break through right there, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, it's got support at 579, has to hold that support, break through 681, and also break through this little miniature line over here at 638 for it to be so much schmexy to me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, yeah. That's what we got going on. That is what we got going on. Let's see. Is there any other stocks that we could check out? Let's see. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you have stocks that you want to check out, put it in the chat. Yeah, put it in the chat. We'll take a look, man. You know what I mean? We will take a look. We will take a look and see. All right, let's see what else we got. What else we got? EVOC seems to be cooling down a little bit. Has a bit of a double top going on, but, you know, it's also a bit overbought in the RSI, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit overbought in the RSI. It do be like that sometimes because, you know, a little bit overbought. So it's going to try to, well, it's going to try to basically do its thing and kind of correspond itself with the RSI and do all that good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, also, ladies and gentlemen, you see this beautiful news over here, these beautiful news articles that we have over here with some actual dissertations on what is going on in the news, as well as the tickers that are affected by said news, as well as a bunch of clickable links and other cool stuff too. So you can check that out by clicking the link in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section to get our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $1.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comments section. Yes, sir. So let's see what we got going on here. All right. So EVOK currently has a bit of a double top going on, although that red candle has a bit of a bottom tail, which is, I'm not too fond of it because, again, it's red. I don't like red. I like the green. I like the bulls, not the bears. I like the bulls, not the bears. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, yeah, I like the bulls that go up. Bull go up, bear go down. Also, ladies and gentlemen, ooh, wait, looks like it's trying to curl a little bit. EVOK, looks like it's trying to break through. It's trying to break through that $6.38 little miniature line over there. Let's get that share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's share it with your mom, share it with your dad, share it with your brother, your sister, your cat, your dog, your pet flamingo, your pet alpaca, whatever you got. If you got a hamster, heck, if you got a goldfish, I know you ain't got no fingers, but you can watch. So, yeah, that's what we got going on right there. What do you think about CLDI, M asks? Well, CLDI we called earlier this morning, and it ran up a nice 210%. So, as of now, let's take a look at CLDI. Right now, it probably went down quite a bit after, we already called it and it already ran. Right now, it's currently up 169%. So, honestly, it looks like it's forming a bit of a descending wedge over here. Boom. Right there. We called it earlier this morning. It had a nice little ABCD, ran up 210%, and then went back down a little bit because, of course, it was a bit overbought in the RSI over here. So, you got that going on, obviously. But now it looks like it's doing that right there. And it looks like it's trying to curl off this descending wedge over here a little bit. So, could it potentially run again? Maybe. We'll see. We shall see. But right now, it is currently up 172. Looks like it's trying to curl a little bit. Let's get some support and resistance lines. Excuse me. A little bit of a hiccup. Woo. All right. There we go. So, let's see what we got going on over here. Bop, right there. Let's get some support and resistance lines going. Boom. Okay. So, let's see what we got here. All right. And squeeze a little bit squeezy. A little bit of a squish inward. All right, actually, let's move it all the way over here. Squish that a little bit inward, and we're good. Okay, beautiful. All right, so it's got support at the 29-cent line, 46 cents, 59 cents, 69 cents, 78 cents. That's what it's got going on right there. And it's got some resistance actually. Well, actually, it has support at the 89-cent mark right now. And it has resistance at the $1.08 mark. So the $1.08 mark was approximate high of CLDI. That was the approximate high. So right now, it's got a bit of a resistance over there at the $1.08 mark. Has to break through that $1.08 mark while holding the 89-cent mark for it to be somewhat schmexy to me, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it has to do in my opinion. That is my opinion right there. So, let's see what we got going on here. So it did have a nice little ABCD pattern, had a bit of a descending wedge over here if you zoom in the room, and then after that it looks like it's trying to curl up a little bit. Doesn't have many top tails or bottom tails, but it's looking pretty good. Let's hope for a nice little green candle right there. Let's hope for a nice one. Man, could it potentially continue? Yeah, I mean, it does have some news. It has some news going on. And by the way, EVOK seems to be running, so let's take a look at EVOK in the meantime. EVOK now up 158%, by the way. I take my eye off you for 5 seconds, EVOK, and already you going crazy. All right, 163%. Okay. There we go. EVOK, 163%. Look, man, I take my eyes off of you. I turn my back for 1 second. Already you're running. Ay, 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 you're causing mischief. You're causing mischief. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see here. 163, you said?
163.
Yeah, 163. So, EVOK hit a new high at 163%. So, let's see what we got going on. Has a bit of a double top again. Over here, it has to break through this little miniature line for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. It is $6.86. That is what's currently going on with the stock. That is the one that it has to basically break through. Has a bit of a top tail red, not liking that. We like the bottom tails, but we also like green bottom tails. We like the green bottom tails, not the red ones. The red ones kind of suck, but we like the green ones. We like the green bottom tails. Anyways, so let's see what we got over here. So it's got a support line over here at 618, has to break through 731 for it to continue to be somewhat schmexy to me in terms of EVOK, but it did have a nice run up to 163%, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party going, by the way. But yeah, that's what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we got going on. We're chilling like villains right now. We are chilling. So yeah, let's get that share party, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get that share party going. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, EVOK seems to be moving nice. You know what I mean? And again, it has two bits of news over here. One is an bit of insider buying news. The second is that Evoke Pharma, which is the name of the company, received a notice of allowance for U.S. patent application for Gimoti, extending their Orange Book listings to 2036. So that's what we got going on there. Let's take a look at the float. The float is 1.4 million. The volume has vastly exceeded that now at 17.36 million. Remember earlier when it didn't have as much volume as it had float? Now it's vastly exceeded that. It now has 17 million volume as opposed to the 1.4 million float. So the volume has exceeded the float vastly. I love it, loving it, ladies and gentlemen. Currently hit a nice little high of 163%. Could it continue to go? Maybe. We shall see. We shall see. It is a bit overbought in the RSI, though. It is a bit overbought. It is above the VWAP, which is awesome, but it is a bit overbought in the RSI, so we'll have to see what goes on here. But it looks like it's trying to curl up. It's trying to break through that little mark over there at $6.86. That was the little line that it has to hold and break through, and looks like it's trying to curl up and do another high test, ladies and gentlemen. Could it continue to go up? Well, it did actually. 165%, 171. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Can it continue? Can it continue, ladies and gentlemen? Has to break that $7.31 mark over there, but it hit a nice 171 high right there. 171, ladies and gentlemen, 171. Let me see. Boom, 171. Bop. There we are. All right. Whoo-wee. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's bagger after bagger after bagger. Ever heard of that wrestler, that WWE wrestler? His guy's name was Sheamus. He would say banger after banger after banger. Well, for us, it's bagger. Oh, Evok is moving.
Wow.
Evok is moving. Evok is
Oh my
moving.
goodness,
Evok is moving. 196%. $8, ladies and gentlemen. Just hit $8, ladies and gents. Can it continue to break through? Can it hit 200%? Can it go? Well, let's see. Let's see. It hit the nice $8 mark right there.
Wow. 187.
No, it hit 196 earlier.
Oh.
Yeah. It hit 196. Yeesh. Yeesh, ladies and gentlemen. Yeesh. Yeesh. Currently, Evok is now 196%. That's the high of the day for Evok. So let's see what goes on. Can it break through 200%? We shall see. It looks like it's trying to curl right now a little bit. Looks like it's trying to. It's trying to fight its way on upward. Can it continue? Can it continue? Let's see. Let's see. It's possible. Has to break. It's forming a bit. Got to break that little top tail right there. Come on now, Evok. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got going on right there. Evok currently moved pretty nicely at 196%. Yes, has to now hold at $6.71 while breaking through that $8 mark over there. For it to be so much mexy to me over me. Yes, over me. So that's what we got going on. And by the way, let's get that share party going. Let's share it up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's share it up, share it up, share it up. Yes, sir. Yeah, let's share it up, ladies and gents. Currently, it is still moving upward. It's still moving upward here. I'm loving it. Let's see. Currently moving up. Bop right there. Evok currently up. It's testing it. It's testing it. It's testing. It's testing. Come on now. All right, there we go. It's really trying to break this thing. All right, forming a bit of a double top though. We got to make sure, we got to keep an eye on that little mark over there. Has to break through 765 and break through $8. That's the first goal as far as I'm concerned, is for it to break 765. There we go. It's pushing up a bit more. There we go. It's testing it. It's trying to test it a little bit. It's teasing me. It's teasing me. It's teasing me. I feel teased. I feel teased. I feel teased, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party going. Yes, sir. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want access to our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $1.99, the link to join is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. Because, I mean, we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We already called 6 baggers. 6 baggers, and the day just started. That's what I'm saying. So, currently, Evok has to break through that 765 mark, has to break through the $8 mark for it to continue to be schmexy for me. Also, let's see. M says lots of buzz on high risk BTOG. Don't really like it so far, but do you think Crypto Week will bump it up next week? Well, we'd have to see. We'd have to see how Crypto Week would go, really, in my opinion. But BTOG, we could take a look at BTOG while we're waiting. Let's see. BTOG. So the thing about BTOG is it's very, very choppy right now. Very choppy. It's very choppy in terms of the price action. It's got a lot of red and green, lots of red and green. Not a lot of consistency in terms of price. It is also a China stock. You got to remember that too. China stocks tend to be quite volatile in my opinion, but that's what we got going on right there. It is a bit below the VWAP as well. Well, it's actually had tendencies of being up and down, below the VWAP and above the VWAP. Doesn't have any news though, and it is a China stock, so it tends to be a bit volatile, ladies and gentlemen. It is also down as of now. It's currently down a total of 0.18%. Let's see what we got going on here. The float for the stock is reasonable. It is a reasonable float at 8.38 million. The volume is 2.8 million though, so the volume is below the float. Needs some more volume in my opinion, and also has to stay consistent with the pricing because it is very, very, very low cost. So it's going to be a little bit more volatile in my opinion. Plus, you know, It's a China stock, so you got that going on. So yeah, man. It would depend on a couple of things. That being, of course, how the crypto market does, and if Crypto Week will bump it up, we'll see. We shall see. As of now, we'd have to see how Crypto Week goes. Doesn't have any news, doesn't have any volume really that's interesting, and it is currently down. So, we'd have to see what goes on there. Not overbought or oversold in the RSI, but yeah, it is now below the VWAP. So it's very sporadic, very sporadic. Let's see what we got going on
Evoke
here.
looks like it's doing an ABC.
Yeah, Evoke looks like it's trying a little bit. Let's take a look at Evoke. Let's
see
take
what
a look.
happened.
A little bit of an ABCD. A
Needs
little
a little
bit.
bit more volume.
Needs some.
It's getting the volume.
Oh yeah.
1.7 million.
Yeesh.
It's pushing.
It's pushing.
Oh, come on.
Oh yeah, the float is
Oh,
actually.
it's being a tease.
The float is 1 million change. The volume is now 22.57 million. So it's being a bit of a tease, ladies and gentlemen. It's being a little bit of a tease because right now it hit that nice high of 196%, ladies and gentlemen. 196%. So that's what we got going on right there. Has to break through that 765 mark and that $8 mark for it to continue to be schmexy to me. Has to hold at that 671 mark over there. Has to hold that 671 support line right there. Has to do that. So, man, lost a bit of juice in my opinion. Lost a bit of juice. But it did have some good float and a very good volume. So, who knows? Maybe it could potentially go up in the future. We'll see. We shall see. It teased me, man, though. It teased me. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn around, right? Turn around, get my drink of water. Watch something move while I go grab a drink of water. Because, apparently it just does that for some reason. I don't know. Is it Murphy's Law? No idea. All right. There we go. 'Twas delicious. Okay. Yeah, let's get that share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what else we got going on. ALMU seems to be moving a little bit, so let's take a look at that. ALMU. Let's take a look at ALMU. Not a lot of volume in ALMU. Has a bit of a high float as well, but it does have some news that Aluma secured some new contracts from NASA and the Navy to advance scalable quantum and sensing technologies. So that's awesome. That's great news that they actually secured some contracts from NASA and the U.S. Navy. So they're doing some work with the U.S. government. That's pretty cool. I like that. Let's see what we got over here. Hold on. All right. Yeesh. All right. So, yeah, that's what we got going on right there. And also Aluma, Aluma Inc., that's the name of the company, did secure some new contracts from NASA and the U.S. Navy. The float for the stock is 12.6 million, but the volume is extremely low at 36.22 thousand. The float is a little bit high, not crazy, but a little bit high, but the volume is extremely low. So there's a lot of indecisive wicks here, not liking that too much. So it's in my opinion. Let's check out WKHS. We'll see what we got with this one. WKHS. Let's see here. Well, the float for this one is reasonable at 9.29 million. Volume is 341,000 though. So the volume is a lot less than the float. It does have some news that came out yesterday that Workhorse Group Inc. is making surprise moves on Tuesday, which isn't really much of news. So we'll see what goes on there. It is a bit choppy in terms of price action. Did have a nice shot upward, but then proceeded to go back down. So it's very volatile in my opinion. Also doesn't have much in the volume department. Reasonable float, but not much in the volume department. So also 10%. So we'll see what happens there. But let's take a look back at.
Got some volume coming into Evoke.
Ooh, yes, we do. Yeah, let's take a look back at Evoke. EVOK. Yeesh. So it's trying to. It is trying to. It needs more volume. It is holding that 671. It is holding that 671 support line though. That's pretty good. But they also got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, they received notice of an allowance for a U.S. patent application for Gamoti extending Orange Book listings to 2036. So that's that they got for news. That's what they got going on, ladies and gentlemen. That is what they got going on. Now watch this. I'm about to do my outro, ladies and gentlemen. So watch something move.
Right.
It's been happening quite a bit as of late. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share. Because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And, of course, if you want access to our private Discord, the link to join is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loots, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeesh. All that good stuff. So, yeah. So, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want access to our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $1.99, link to join us in the description down below. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. I mean, look at that beautiful scanner right over there. It's got a bunch of clickable links for all the stonks that it's currently looking at. It's got CLDI, EVOK, SUGP, SCAG, SOBRK, ZIA, and PCSA currently right there. All you got to do is click the link and boom. You get access to the chart, you get access to the information, news, the whole 9 yards, anything you could possibly desire to learn about the stock. You could actually get it by clicking these little links over here. Not to mention the fact that it does have the change in percentage right over here. It has the trajectory, whether it's moving up or down, the time frame in which it was scanned, the stock ticker, the price, the volume, and the float all over here in one market mover. Beautiful, beautiful scanner that is on our Discord. All you got to do is check out that $1.99 link over there. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. Let's continue. We also got our beautiful newsroom over here, which actually manages to show us the beautiful news on the lovely little articles. Has a bunch of little articles here with news. All you got to do is click into them. All that beautiful stuff right there. All the stocks in the stock market, all the news goes right through here. It's pretty, it's good, it's very organized and neat. All you got to do is click the little link over there, and you can actually get into the news article. It gives you a small dissertation on what the article is about, as well as the ticker that is affected by it. So, and you could actually even click on the little link to get more information on said ticker, or you can click on the link over here to get information on the actual article. So yeah, that's pretty much what you got going on. It's got a bunch of clickable links and all sorts of cool stuff.
Evoke, taking off.
Wait, what?
Taking off.
What? Oh boy.
It's starting to move.
Evoke looks like it's trying to do something right now. Looks like it's trying to pounce a little bit.
A little bit of noise.
Making a little bit of noise, a little noisy, a little bit noisy.
Over the 9 EMA.
All right. All right.
Making some noise, testing 750.
Ooh, all right.
Testing 750.
Testing 750.
Yeah.
All right, we'll
Let
see.
the volume dictate.
Yes, we shall see, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check us out on YouTube, you can find us on YouTube, where we do a lot of live streaming and videos. We even did one video on PROK. We did a video on PROK last night. You can check that out by going to our YouTube at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money. You can find us there at Coach Nick Money. We're just chilling. We're doing some live streams and all sorts of other stock reviews and news. You can find that there on the YouTube by liking, commenting, and subscribing there. You can find us on x.com, aka Twitter, where we do a lot of beautiful live streams and also some really, really awesome stock analysis. You can find us there at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money. You can find us on Twitch, where we do a lot of live streaming at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, where we do a lot of stock reviews and stock market analysis. You can find us there at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money. You can find us on TikTok, Tiki Taki, aka the Tac. The Tac. Yes. You can find us there, where we do some stock reviews and other stuff as well. You can find us there at DBL Nicks. At DBL NICKS. And the screen name is Coach Nick Money, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what you got going on. Much love. It's Double Nicks. I love you guys, and I am here with the Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around in the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. And sometimes she likes to jet ski, sometimes she likes to regular ski, and other times we shoot her out the cannon, she goes wee, and then we throw her in the stock market. She finds them ABCDs. She called EVOK, CLDI, and SUGP, as well as SCAG. We call her DBL Moms. Hey! Yeesh. So that's pretty much it for me. Much love, ladies and gentlemen. It's Double Nicks. I love you guys. Have a fantastic day. I hope all your dreams and aspirations come true. Make a lot of money. Be greenable. I hope you have a great today and an even better tomorrow. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen.